everyone, and welcome to another episode of Technically Speaking. As always, I'm your host, but today John is not here. We have a substitute. So, Leanne, welcome to the podcast for the first
Hello.
time as your host. And then we have a special guest as well, Matty. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just to begin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Matty Schirle. Real name's Matthew, but in skincare I go by Matty. And I'm founder and CEO of the natural skincare brand SkinKick.
And so before you got into SkinKick, could you give a little history of where you worked beforehand?
Sure. Actually, the word entrepreneur has been in my life since sixth grade. So I'm literally one of those stories where I've, coerced my mother to drive my lawnmower around the city. And I literally had a business card in sixth grade. So, which is kind of cool when you look back at it. But I, was very driven to do my own thing at that age. And by the time I was in ninth grade, I had saved $3,500. So today, I don't want to tell you how many dollars it is, but it's excess of $18,000. So can you imagine a ninth grader having 18 grand? And then I got into high school and I continued and I built this decent size landscape company and then ended up going to Michigan. I was going to get a business degree. Always was fascinated with business. So at the last minute, I switched to engineering because I figured I was going to be on a board of directors and the world was going technical. So I'm like, oh, I better understand what this is so they can't, blow smoke up me. So I ended up with a chemical engineering degree, and nobody would hire me, so I went down to Texas and built computer chips for 10 years, and really loved it. They handed me the keys to one of those billion-dollar wafer fabs to be the general manager after 9 years, and I turned them down and said no, and I quit, and I became an entry-level salesman. 3 years VP of sales. 1 year after that, they moved me to Japan. So international business strategy executive, vice president. And so I was there creating companies. So my entrepreneurship came out. In business, it's called intrapreneur. So I created multiple companies. My best was I did a reverse triangular merger where I split part of that Japanese company off and I found an American company to invest into it. So I was having a blast getting my entrepreneur spirit back, and I loved it.
That's awesome. You've always clearly been an entrepreneur, but you also, did business, and I feel like it's probably pretty evident of how that's helped you create your company. But how has your engineering degree, been of service for the skincare journey?
Interesting question. Engineers are trained to solve problems. So we're not scientists. I'm not going to run a PhD and come out with the, fifth degree of this and that. But we study problems and then we figure out how to solve them. So really, the word innovation comes into play. So the best engineers solve the problem. They do that by innovating, which means basically using creativity to solve the problem.
So what specifically inspired you to get into skincare?
Oh, good question too. So we ended up getting a corporate divorce. Divorce happens even inside the business. So I had to recreate myself. So I was looking left and looking right. So while I was spending more time at home than I ever had, the kids were going through their change of life. So those teens show up in your house and have acne, problem skin. And I learned that more than 5 kids in my hometown were using Accutane, which is one of the most powerful retinoids. And in fact, it's so powerful, if you accidentally get pregnant while using it, you have a 100% guarantee of a deformed baby. So in the state of Texas, for instance, you have to get your birth control hormone checked every month. Otherwise, you don't get another 30 days of Accutane. Now, tell me how that's healthy for your body. So that uh, reminded me of growing up in the semiconductor, working in a factory where these women would lose their babies, as they're in gestation, they'd have miscarriages. So it's due to the chemicals. So I was already sensitive and very aware of how chemicals can dry out and damage your skin, for instance, impact your health. And then I show up, and all of a sudden, all these teens are going through this stage of life, and so I started investigating and understanding what's going on with skincare, and that's how it all started.
It's awesome. I've seen so many people like use the Accutane, and it always seems so. It just seems like it's very painful, just with like the chapped lips, the chapped skin, and everything, and all the other side effects that come along with it. So I think that's great.
And it's so hit or miss too, from what I've heard. It's like some people have a great experience with it and some people not so much. So I mean, I personally have never been on it, but it kind of, that risk is almost enough for me to never even really consider it personally.
No, yeah.
So later, we came up with a model that explains what goes on, and number one is you have to have a blocked a pore, skin pore, and number two, there needs to be bacteria. And what the Accutane does is it nukes your oil generator, the sebaceous glands inside your skin pores. Yes, it works. It nukes you. It shuts them down. But you know what? There's a reason we have a natural skin barrier. I mean, our bodies all make sense. We have all these organs doing things, but that's an oil. And today they call it the natural skin barrier. It's made of sebum oil. It's there for a reason. It's there to help your skin protect you from the environment. So yes, today you can nuke it, but there's many cases where it comes back years later. And there's also many cases of horrific side effects. And like I said, while I wasn't a green thumper on chemicals when I started, I now understand the impact of these nasty man-made chemicals. And quite frankly, our bodies are made of 100% natural chemicals. So say that again. Our bodies are 100% natural. Our body desires to be in harmony with nature, not man-made stuff that we put in that aggravates us, inflames us, irritates us. Eventually, some people get cancer, whatever it may be. So if we can find solutions in this world that deal with nature and natural stuff, then more power to all of us.
So
Right.
why don't you go on and tell us then? Yeah, well, how does SkinKick, do that for everybody and keep it natural?
Well, what we did was, first of all, got to identify the problem. So the status quo in skincare is using harsh acids and harmful chemicals. So harsh acids, the industry loves acids, acid, chemical peel, acid peel. I mean, acids. So it's literally not only blowing through your natural skin barrier, but it's actually could peel a layer of skin, and they actually use it to peel a layer of skin. Harmful chemicals. So they're still using things like parabens that are tied to cancer. There are things that impact your hormones. So the number one problem is how to remove those. And so what I did, even though I'm an engineer, I was more of a business guy than the engineering dude. So I went down and hired a PhD scientist out of UT Southwest Med Center, and this guy is the rock star of the skin cell, Dr. Bill Provins. So what we did different was, instead of just Googling ingredients and thinking we can have one hero ingredient that's going to solve everything, we identified what it takes to keep a skin cell healthy. So what vitamins, what nutrients, which omegas. So what does the ingredient need to deliver? Which vitamins, which nutrients, which omega? We call that vino, by the way, just vino, like as in wine. But then what Dr. Bill did is identify what is the vino to keep that skin cell healthy. So once we have that, that becomes our specification. We have to have that in our product. So then we simply search the world, not in our car, but on our database, for what natural botanical can deliver the highest skin vino, the highest vitamin, nutrients, omegas that we desire. And so that is how we selected our ingredients. And they're all natural botanicals. The top 9 are natural botanicals. So with that, then we create formulas. And because we have those ingredients, we're not bringing along a bunch of stuff that is fillers and taking up room and not any value added. So it lends itself to formulas that are extremely effective and multifunctional. And quite frankly, the last thing is safe. So sorry to say, man-made chemicals always come with a surprise because we're not perfect people on how we can make chemicals. There's always a surprise. Every single chemical made has an unwanted byproduct. It's that unwanted byproduct that irritates your skin. So what SkinKick did is we used the natural formulas, and it lends itself to multifunctionality. It lends itself to outrageously effective. It lends itself to single step, 2-step, 3-step operations. And it lends itself to safety, which is safe for your skin, safe for your health, and then safe for the planet because it's natural.
There's
sorry, go ahead, Leanne.
There's a big thing I see on TikTok about all the little girls wanting to go into Sephora and like find all these makeup products, and they keep talking about how it's not safe for those little girls. Are your products safe for younger kids, or would you still wait for a certain age to recommend it to them?
Yes, so I can help you with that. So a very popular celebrity, her daughter grabbed her skincare, and it happened to be a drunk elephant. And these kids all, when my teens were growing up, they wanted to be adult when they were 16 or 17. The kids want to be adults now at 10, 11, and 12. Yep. So they were using their mom's anti-aging product. And 2 things happened. They did a TikTok. The youngster did a TikTok showing the skincare, and it drove all kinds of kids into Sephora. And 2 things happened. One, they call them Sephora kids because they showed up in Sephora and they created havoc for the Sephora people that were working there, meaning they were using all the testers and opening up the boxes, putting it on their face. But the beautiful thing is it did drive sales, and that market of tweens is huge. So the second thing that happens, so they call them Sephora kids. So the Sephora kids buy the product, take it home, and because of the harsh acids that are in skincare, many kids had impact. Burnings are very strong. They had the burning sensation. And it harmed them. Yeah. So almost every top 10 brand making skincare has issued a warning, don't use our products if you're a tween. And also the retailers have made statements too, not encouraging teens or I should say tweens, from using their product. But one thing that's interesting that I noticed is our skin barrier here is set by the time we're 6 years old. So who in the heck decided it's only for 15 under, you shouldn't use it? Oh, the woman, the adult woman, you just put up with the pain, no problem. You just put up with it. But if this barrier is set by 6, there's really no difference between a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 21-year-old and a 35. Yeah. They're still going to have the same acid, the same pain. So yes, the answer is we do have solutions. So our stuff is teed up, and we can overcome the problem, and we've never had the issue that Sephora kids experience. And that's exactly why you go natural. We eliminated the harsh acids. We do not use AHAs. We do not use any man-made BHAs. We do not use harmful chemicals. So Drunk Elephant made a big name by removing 6, she called them suspicious ingredients. We've removed 32. There is nothing more to remove over here. everything's out of there that could potentially cause an issue. So we're super excited. In fact, not only can we use tweens, but you can use it on a baby if you have eczema on their, the red diaper rash and stuff. And
Awesome.
case over case, from baby to teen to tween. So if you design right, you use nature right, you can do it. Does that help?
Yes, that's awesome.
So obviously you had your vision for what you wanted your company to look like, and a lot of research had to go into getting the products that you wanted with what you wanted in it. How long did it take you to actually bring your vision to life and to get to where you are today?
So before I created SkinKick, I was doing anti-aging, and so I was very familiar with it. We did clinical trials. We got the ingredients all clinically proven, so I can prove that we're more effective than retinol for wrinkles, crinkles, cracks. I mean, this is 100-year-old face here. It doesn't look so bad, right?
Looks great.
So a little bit of an exaggeration, but the point is that we were doing anti-aging, and then I asked Dr. Bill, we need to be in blemish. We need to, because of this acne issue. And then when we came out with the acne product, the very first young woman stood up and said, "Do you see my face? I am glowing. I've never had clear skin. I've never had the confidence I have now. I went down and tried out for the school play and I won the lead role." So she said, "You need to call it self-esteem in a bottle." And sure enough, if you see our website, skinkick.com, you'll see right off the bat, self-esteem in a bottle. So it took us 3 years from when SkinKick started before we penetrated into a major retailer.
So Maddie, what other problems are, going on in skincare? Everybody, there's so many different problems, I feel like, but what is another major one that you see a lot of?
Yeah, so the number one in the anti-aging side was the Sephora kids, where they're burning their skin and the acids are burning the skin. So it just so happens so that's anti-aging. On the other side, we do acne as well, or problem skin. And it turns out that in the beginning of March of this year, a firm studied 100 brands, and they analyzed what's actually in the bottle. 100 brands using benzoyl peroxide, which is the market leader chemical or ingredient for problem skin. So it turns out that 95% of them had benzene in it. And lo and behold, SkinKick had already used innovation and created what we call B3 technology to replace benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid. And so our B3 technology stands for bi-bi-benzyl. So we couldn't be better positioned, because we already have the technology existing and in the market and available for sale that replaces benzoyl peroxide and man-made salicylic acid. So it's a beautiful story. It almost looks like we know what we're doing. So anti-aging, get rid of retinol, which turns into retinoic acid, and all the strong AHAs that create havoc on your natural skin barrier. On the problem skin side, get rid of benzoyl peroxide and replace it with products that use nature. And we have the proven results. It's outrageously effective, and we can show it with videos that are authentic and unpaid for.
Yeah. We can insert some before and after pictures right here for everybody to see.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to kind of switch gears here and shift a little bit more into like the technology you need to run your company. So kind of drawing from your business background, what software is needed to run a successful D2C skincare business?
So the number one decision you need to make is what platform to put your website on. So we have chosen to go with the majority, which is Shopify. Because of the majority is there, it makes it very easy for the consumer to get on your website and make a purchase. They don't need to enter all their information separately, uniquely, so it's very easy keystrokes. It's almost like hopping on Amazon again. It's just boom, boom. And so the number one would be the Shopify site itself. And the other software we use is email marketing is extremely important to people that do digital marketing, D2C. And so we use Klaviyo. And so those two are kind of our bread and butter. We wouldn't exist without them.
Okay. I ordered from you one of your sets from you, and I mean the fulfillment of it was so quick. I had it at my house within a couple of days. So what's your process on that side to keep it keep it speedy?
So you got to remember, I grew up making semiconductor computer chips.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all 500 operations, boom, 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 boom. I have that part of the process down. So we understand exactly. We have worked with our entire supply chain. We put checks in place, we put balances in place, we streamlined it. That part of our operation will never be an issue.
What is Have you guys moved into doing subscriptions yet with your skincare?
Yes, subscription is our basis of our model.
Okay.
We have designed every single product to be 30-day quantity so that it lends itself to a subscription model that starts on 30 days. So we're a believer. Um, we are not believers. We do not sell samples or give samples. We we have a 100% guarantee. That means you use it. Forget the sample. Just come in and use it for a month. You're not happy? I'll give you your money back. Who cares? I don't care about the money. I'm more interested in clearing your skin. And so getting you to come back. And once we clear your skin, then we can renew it with the Glow Renewal Serum. So it's easy transition into additional products as well.
Okay. And how do you execute those subscriptions on Shopify?
Oh, Shopify has a very simple plugins. So there are software modules that third parties create, and you just decide which one you're going to go with. Many of them are very similar. So it's all the software is pre-done for you. It's very simple. The customers know how to use it. Everything's plug and chug. So
Okay.
that part of the business is quite easy.
So I have one final question on my end. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to make a significant impact in their industries?
The advice I would give is you got to make sure your values align with being an entrepreneur. I mean, it sounds great. It's really sexy. You own your own company, but it ends there. The beauty of being an entrepreneur ends there. The number one value you have to have is something called resilience. You can never give up. Everybody eventually thinks you're a nut. Your mom, your dad, your kids, wherever you are in life will eventually like you're a nut. They're telling you you're a nut. But you have to believe in yourself. So resilience is clearly the number one. The other thing to know is that number two, trust is in any business. The number one currency in life is trust. I mean, you might think it's the money in your pocket, but really it's trust. Trust builds teams. Trust builds relationships. Life is about trust. So you got to have trust. And the third thing I would say is learn how to innovate. So because I got lucky and ended up as a chemical engineer, today I can't even spell it, but anyhow, the key is how to innovate. And we didn't originate it, but I call it the 10,000 question approach to innovation. So what you do is you show up and you say, why, why? Why is it this way? You ask the supplier, why is this? You ask the customer, why is this? You ask the manufacturer, you ask the dermatologist, why? You ask the plastic surgeon, why? So that is really how you carve out what the problem is, and then you can solve it from there. And basically, once you have a problem, successful entrepreneurs are the ones that wrapped a P&L around that problem and brought it to market, whatever that P&L, whatever your solution is.
That's great advice.
Yeah, look at it turned my hair white.
Can you tell us what the products that you have are and like what the different sets that you offer are?
Okay, so because we're natural and because we designed using natural ingredients, we can clear your problem skin. So I can address acne, rosacea. Actually, we're 23 of 24 for curing rosacea. So I can do problem skin, right? And I'm not using those harsh acids. And I can also do anti-aging, or what we call skin renewal. And we do that without retinol. And if you're using man-made chemicals, you cannot clear and renew at the same time. Your skin will have a chemistry 101 issue on your face. That's why, you know, problem skin products are sold separately from anti-aging products. The beauty of nature is, because I solve both those problems, I can do them at the same time. So we actually can clear and renew at the same time. So what we did is we actually have 4 different, we call them systems. Some people call them kits, because there's so much technology and know-how. We're calling ours systems. Also, we are 2-step, because the acne model and also the anti-aging, there's 2 steps required. You have to use the right cleanser to keep the pore open for problem skin. And then step 2 is just nail the bacteria, but do it naturally and not with acids. So we created 2-step systems that combine our cleanser with every single one of the system. So our cleanser is one of the most strategic. It does not have acids. We exfoliate with a natural enzyme out of caviar that floats your dense skin cells off, and then it hydrates you at the same time. So I can't go a day in my life without that cleanser. Like, I have a bad day, just don't feel good if I'm not using my cleanser. So we have 4 systems for acne or problem skin. 2 of the 4 have CBD in it. CBD is a wonderful anti-inflammatory. We didn't just put it in anything. We studied it and we realized great anti-inflammatory, therefore put it on the acne side of the products or the problem skin. It reduces inflammation. So we take our blemish kick duo, add CBD to it, and it becomes our dope kick duo. Dope's a play off of all those kids that smoked dope when I was a kid. It was THC. But it resonates with the millennials and their mothers, and the teens and the Gen Zs, and I don't know about Gen As. But then on the anti-aging side, we have we built a product for Macy's specifically, but now it's open for the public. It's called Renew Kick Duo, and that's what I use every day, because I don't have blemishes but once a year, and I use Renew Kick. So it comes with the cleanser. Like I said, everyone has the cleanser in it. Then it becomes with the Glow Renewal Serum. And you have to admit, my skin glows, and I get compliments every single day, and that's not an exaggeration. And they don't know what I do. They just like, hey, what do you use for your skin? And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So that's how I know I'm doing the right thing in life.
Your marketing does itself just by you walking around.
Yes.
Lately, the marketing actually does itself. I was at a entrepreneur event just 2 weeks ago, and a woman came from all the way across the room. She goes, I saw you across the room. What are you using on your skin? I said, tell me who told you to come over here. Like, who told you that? And she said, no, seriously, I saw your skin glowing. And so next thing you know, literally when I go out, I sell 3 to 5 systems in a night, just talking. So I love what I do. I love changing lives. I absolutely live for that person coming to me and saying, you changed our life. And why not? I'm at that age where that's what's very, very important to me.
Well, I think me and Leanne can both agree that this is a subject that we could talk about forever. Like, this has been a fun podcast to listen to and talk on. But however, we are pretty much out of time. However, since John isn't here, I'm going to have to take over his question for him that he asks everyone we have on the podcast. In 10 years from now, where do you predict your industry to be from a tech standpoint?
I believe we're struggling because we're coming in and the status quo is using the harsh acids and the harmful chemicals. They don't recognize that you can get better results by removing those. So it's difficult to come in and tell everybody, forget the acids on your face. It's like acid on your face, big disgrace. They're not really happy with the disruptor coming in and telling you don't. Oh, how about shrinking a skin pore? I'm like, are you kidding me? Shrinking a skin pore, it's going to plug that much. Which one's going to plug fast? Skin pore that's like this or like this? The smaller one is. So don't shrink the pore. So we're over here saying all this stuff, which is opposite that every woman has learned, and now men are learning. We're the opposites. We're the disruptors. So it's going to take time to change and to get people to embrace natural. The reason everybody ran from natural is people were making stuff that wasn't really natural. So if you really use natural, you really embrace the technology, and you really come up with products that add value to the customer, eventually people will jump on the bandwagon. So for everybody that says you can't do it with natural, yeah, nobody in their right mind is going to stick poison ivy into your natural product. Let's get over that. I mean, we're not totally incompetent. I mean, nobody's going to stick mercury in your skincare, but natural does not come with those unwanted ingredients, the side effects. So natural is the way to go. And I believe we will get 10 years from now, it'll be natural is the way to go. So it'll come back.
We'll have to give you a call in 10 years from now and see if you're right.
Yeah, this turned white when I created SkinKick, so I'm not so sure what 10 years will look like. But anyhow, can you please fingerprint my face and let's see? We'll do a pre and post.
Yes.
We'll have to do that. We can try and figure it out. Well, thank you for coming on, Matty. I'm taking over the outro today because John is gone. He will be back next Tuesday. So if anybody has any questions before then, feel free to send them to the email that's in our description. And we will also have Matty's information linked there, and you can go to his website and order his products.
SkinKick. So skin like the skin on your face, kick like kick your self-esteem to the highest level ever. SkinKick.com. And feel free to use the code FIRST, spell it FIRST, and then the number 15. First 15 gets you 15% off. But it's 100% guaranteed. Rarely does anybody take us up on that. Very, very rarely. More than happy to work with you. We step our way through. We'll work with you one-on-one, whatever it takes to get clear skin. We're there. And I appreciate everybody's trust. We've spent a lot of money getting to this place. And thank you for the question about 10 years. And I hope we can impact a lot of lives in 10 years. Clear skin delivers confidence. Confidence gives you the ability to make really good decisions. Good decisions leads to a world with harmony. More love, less hate. I mean, it sounds funny, but that's what I want to do. I want to leave the world a heck of a lot better than we found it. So more love, less hate, self-esteem in a bottle, SkinKick. Thank you.
Thanks, Matty.
Thanks, Matty.